You say so.
It's time.
Says we're live.
Yeah, live.
Changed colors.
Means nothing. Nothing. Found the white one this time. All right. If you'd like to keep the air conditioner running in 109-degree heat, donate here. Please, God, donate here.
Coffee.
Does everybody know that we have a anthology with King Harvest Coffee? If you don't, might want to let them know about it.
It has been persistently either number one or number two.
These would go back to number one. If you like coffee, talk to these guys. Be sure you let them know you heard about it from us. That way they'll send us more coffee.
I did have a story in it, so I'm curious as to what y'all think of it.
Leave Jim a review.
Yeah, leave Jim a review.
All the stories are reviewed.
tinyurl.com, Among the Leaves Tees, for all your smart-ass t-shirt needs. Right out the gate, I would like to announce that Super Generation is half-ass live.
So don't go out and buy it just yet because Amazon is making us wait.
When I say half-ass live, again, apparently Amazon elves got bored and they checked the list when they haven't screwed with us for a while. So they said, "Oh, what the heck, we're bored." It's only out in Dead Tree, so
We aren't marketing it until both ebook and
Right.
or until noon tomorrow, whichever comes first.
So I realize it's all over Facebook, but hold off on ordering it till we get both of them up.
or until noon tomorrow, whichever comes first.
Noon tomorrow will come first. Trust me.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Dawn. She says, I had to deal with someone tracking that stolen vehicle via onboard connectivity app for 2 days running. It was, in fact, in an undisturbed 7-foot high cornfield.
So on
Yeah.
Super Generation, hold off for a bit. If both of them aren't live by noon tomorrow, at noon, go nuts. Hopefully we can uncork Amazon and get both of them up, but hold off on buying just yet.
Between Coffee having the whole reporting system of
Yeah.
Amazon worked when it first came out,
Yeah.
and now this, I'm like, do we have other options?
Yeah.
No,
No
sadly
kidding,
we don't.
right?
Oh, John is on here, so.
Which
now-
John?
Oh, good.
Oh.
John Hollowell
Yeah.
sent me a box of children's books. And I thought today would be a good time because the box has been sitting at my house for a little while, but getting the box here and
Depending on how that
Yeah.
works out. Isn't
Yeah, getting the box here and me here, and yes, happens.
And
So,
John put a lot of tape on the box.
yes, it was well fastened together, which is a good idea, John. Oh, there may be more tape. Okay, good, not more tape. There's a note.
it? Have your name on it.
It says he got the copy of Two Little Savages in 1960 when he was 8. Haunting the used bookstores is a trait I inherited from my mom. Funny, John, me too.
Goodness. Oh, wow.
So
Knit-
this is
knit drawings by the author,
yeah,
Ernest Thompson.
Ernest Thompson Seton.
Ernest Thompson Seton was a naturalist and an author, and before Dangerous Books for Boys, there was Ernest Thompson Seton's books about wild animals and living in the woods. A Roy Blakely book. I have another Roy Blakely book somewhere.
3 Roy.
Oh, lovely.
So we've got
Wow.
Roy Blakely's Beeline Hike, Camp on Wheels,
And the first Roy Blakely, it looks
and
like.
a
It's just-
kid with a really creepy grin. Percy Keith Fitzhugh, Pee Wee Harris, also all sorts of.
Oh, there's some lovely books in here.
Oh, good God, yes. Ernest Thompson Seton's America with drawings by the author.
And he's so deep into it, he's not bothering to show them to y'all. So
He's excited.
Books.
But we had been talking about writing books for boys,
Yeah.
and I had been acquiring some as baseline research for those books.
Yeah.
And so John sent us these books so that we can use them in aid of that, which is a lovely idea. Also, because he wanted them to have a good home as he's starting to overflow with books, aren't we all?
The Motor Boys in those words sound like emotion. The Motor Boys in Mexico
Oh, that sounds like fun.
by Clarence Young, author of the Racer Boy series and Black Ranger series. I like it already.
Those sound like great boys book
Yeah.
series. I mean, the Racer Boys sounds like it's right up Jim's alley, actually. Since I know what Jim was up to when he was a younger man.
The Book of Woodcraft. Oh, hell yes. By Ernest Thompson Seton.
Oh, I love the
Oh,
caribou
this-
on the cover.
Oh, this is like the predecessor to the Boy Scout Handbook.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's got
Well,
No,
it wouldn't have been a predecessor to the Boy Scouts handbook. And now I'm actually curious if there's a
What
connection
year
it's
was
got
between,
Indian pictographs.
What year
between the
was it?
Scouts and Ernest Thompson Seton.
because Scouts were 1903, 1913.
Yeah,
1920.
yeah. So parallel to, if not
So
connected.
turn it around so the people that are watching
I'm sorry,
can see it.
1912.
It's around the same time as the
Yeah, that's a beautiful caribou.
yeah.
Percy Fitzhugh again. Tom Slade with the colors. I like that already. Colors being flags, I'll bet you.
Probably.
Yep.
Oh, cool. The other lovely thing about books like this is that they're a glimpse into history.
Yeah.
Even though they weren't written to be history.
Wild Animals I Have Known.
That
This is a classic.
That is one of the most famous of Seton's
Yeah.
books. Yes.
Rick says, I found a full copy unexpurgated of 1001 Arabian Nights. Grab that sucker with a quickness.
Oh yeah.
As you should have, yes.
I have one of those. Gosh, I'm gonna have to go look back and look at the copyright date, but I have one that dates back to like 1900.
That one's seen a lot
Roy
of
Blakely,
use.
Lost, Strayed, or Stolen. Oh dear. I love the title.
And that one's been read a lot.
Yes, it has been loved to death.
That's fine as any indication.
Oh, Lord.
So thank you, John. Thank you very much. I figured we'd share this with the group. But there is definitely, this is a treasure trove of boys fiction. We've lost Ian just completely.
Yeah.
He's gone.
2 volumes, all the forbidden words inside. Yes.
Well, I had been focusing on things like Tom Swift and I did wind up buying some Victorian era G.A. Henty because G.A. Henty was my go-to for living history when I was being homeschooled, because he did the fiction that is usually boys' stories, set in different eras of history, and it really brought it to life.
Thank you very much. Thank you. This is fantastic. This is a treasure.
Now you got to figure out someplace to put it.
Oh, I have space. I have a designated place on the big brown shelves in my living room.
I don't think you're ever going to see those again. I think Ian's going to take them all.
Just I'm gonna get it away.
Ian's asleep in a book. Yeah.
Today's podcast, watching Ian read. What the hell?
I mean, you could sit there and read it out loud to them.
I'd forget. I've tried that. I get lost in a book and forget to read it out loud. Ian's version of reading out loud. 8 hours of pages turning, and then, oh wait, I'm supposed to read that. I'm supposed to say something.
When I was a girl, we read a chapter a night at least out loud to each other because my baby sister couldn't and can't read. So I actually learned there are definitely some techniques to reading out loud, and not reading too fast, not forgetting that you're reading out loud.
Yes.
Rita made a decent bit of coin reading to little old housebound ladies. She's got that opera trained voice,
Mm-hmm.
and she had a couple of little old ladies she would go to on the regular and sit and read stories to them. And I came in to pick her up one time, a little early, I sat in the back and just listened to her read. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
She's
So
a,
she can do all the voices too.
Yeah. Yeah, I did some read alouds on YouTube for my sister, and they actually have gotten quite a number of views because people, I didn't publicize it heavily, but people have found them. And I just ran out of time to keep doing it. So
I think somewhere along in here, we're going to have, as for marketing, we have Rita read certain stuff from our books.
Rita or Mike.
Yeah.
Depending on the story.
Yes, yes. The sidebar conversation has been going
Oh
on
my
in
God.
chat about the.
They don't ever show up to
Well, no, it's
We're just-
actually two
we're just noise in
conversations
the
today.
background. We're just
They're going
noise-
back and forth,
Noise in the background.
but they trying to find this vehicle using the GPS locator.
Oh, it was parked out in a cornfield?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And Don says, but if an old cell phone could give me the location within 2 miles, and then something with a room full of hardware and a whole ass truck should be better than that. True,
No, that doesn't the way it works.
but unless you have differential antennas,
I was gonna say.
you're not going to get that good accuracy.
When
Richard
we
Brown.
did ELT training, we could get pretty darn close to where our signal was coming from.
Well, only because of the power.
Right.
Richard Brown says, I've got mental giggles. Rita singing Ghost Chickens in the Sky.
These things could be arranged.
Yeah.
She's when she's not stressed and feeling good, she sings some really weird stuff.
Yeah.
Methyl Ermin, that little soprano, operatic soprano, singing pop and rap songs in the style of Ethel Merman. Almost wiped out an entire lunch or supper crowd at Tolcon.
Yeah.
Between her and Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly's singing along and perfect harmony.
Yes, the two of them together and Unleashed is a thing to behold.
She did Methyl Ermin. She did somewhere on YouTube. There's some Methyl Ermin stuff she did.
And there's been little snippets of it on this
Yeah.
podcast.
Yes,
from
yes,
time
there
to time.
have. Yes, there have. It's hard to be a pimp in the style of Ethel Merman.
Yeah. Sir Brass, FYI, you can buy GPS chips. I know the Navy was for $3 a piece. Accuracy, not so much. The best accuracy you'll ever get with a cell phone is somewhere between 15 and 100 feet. Your average car GPS accuracy is about 100 feet.
I think you're being generous. I can get closer to half a mile.
Well, it depends on how fast you're going too.
Right.
The thing I thought was interesting is at the con this weekend, we were chatting with a young man, I would say mid to late teens, and his dad wandered up with his phone in his hand, and he was using one of those tracker apps where he was tracking his son's phone, and he's like, it led me right to you. And it literally I would say that thing was accurate to within a meter of where the kid was standing with his phone.
Yeah, but it was also in a blocked space,
Mm-hmm.
probably with a concrete and steel roof.
I know our Wi-Fi there sucked.
Yeah.
So
I have yet to be in a con where Wi-Fi wasn't just
it's because of the buildings
Yeah.
they're held in.
dog dirt bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we wound up, Wi-Fi was included with the booth fee and everything, and Donna had to use her hotspot to run the point of sale because the con Wi-Fi was just overloaded and underpowered.
Tom says close enough for blast radius. Yeah,
No kidding.
Yes, yes.
No kidding. I'm really thinking that next year's budget, we probably need to budget for a company hotspot because bless our hearts, the cons try, but they're even the NRA. Remember the Wi-Fi at the NRA convention?
Yeah.
Never had a decent one.
no. Yeah, Don, that's you can spoof location services. It's fairly easy, actually. It gets done often enough.
Let's see. Yeah.
Number of users, yeah, Jesse, because all the hotels use a flat network. So the less people that are on, the more internet you get. The more people that are on, the less internet you get. Also, your connection speeds go down.
Yeah, we might hotspot. Just getting hotspot might be just brain firing.
Sir Brass, that is more or less correct, assuming they have the correct antennas and the correct spacings. If they do not, it's not going to be within inches.
Ian only pawn in Game of Life.
I did testing on GPSs. I know more about that crap than I even want to think about anymore.
Ian only pawn in Game of Life.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where else? What else? John, yeah, you may have noticed John and Cedar back.
Yeah.
Had a good time in Shreveport, and
Oh my God,
Well,
the food.
They ate
discovered
good food.
discovered it's a foodie town. Shreveport is a little bit bigger, maybe 50 to 100,000 bigger than Wichita Falls, but the food scene there is out of this world. It really is.
We stumbled into Frank's birthday party too.
Oh, that was fun. So the Airbnb where we were staying, literally like across the street was a resto bar, which was a restaurant bar.
Yeah.
I mean, as a bar goes, the bar itself was tiny. We actually think it might have once at one point been a hibachi grill, but talking to the young woman that was running the whole joint, the whole front end the first morning, it's owned by some siblings. Everyone else had a conflict, so she was the only one there that night. And we go in, and there's like a hostess that greets us cheerfully, and we get seated and everything. And then these people start to show up, and they are dressed to the
He's like
nines.
Maseratis in the parking lot.
And, I mean, yeah, when we left, we're looking at all the cars in the parking lot, going, "Dang!" But anyhow,
Diamonds, dripping with diamonds.
we were strikingly melanin challenged for the group, but they were all just
Shreveport.
lovely and
It's Shreveport.
friendly.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
the
it-
shoes. Oh my God, the shoes.
Yeah.
Good thing Rita
Rita
wasn't
was
there.
dying.
Yeah, Rita would have been enjoying herself. But I mean, all these people all dressed up, and they're all coming in and they're ordering drinks. It was happy hour when we first got there, and we'd ordered our food, and the lady that was hostessing came by at one point and was just being super friendly, and she's like, "Y'all stay until it's over now," and we're like, "It's over? What?" And she was being a tease. She wouldn't tell us what was going on.
That's Louisiana.
She was so sweet.
Oh, and then she came by and she gave us like raffle tickets because they were doing door prizes, and we're like, "But we're not part of."
Doesn't matter.
And
Welcome to Louisiana.
so about the time the DJ showed up, we're like, "We are gonna settle up and slip out." So, but yeah, and then we went back the next day for lunch because we were dying to try the mac and cheese, and they only serve it at lunch. So, and the food was excellent. It was much quieter at that point.
They Sammy's Seafood Kitchen. Sammy's Seafood Kitchen?
Sammy's Southern Eatery.
Southern Eatery.
Yeah.
Oh my
There
God, that
there
was-
used to be one in Wichita Falls. It closed
Now
down.
I have a sad.
It closed down because you would walk in there and order 4 shrimp and get 7 jumbo shrimp.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. And I think they and people figured this out with the quickness.
Yeah.
But the food was, oh my God, the food was great.
Yep. And it was correctly spiced too.
Yeah.
The other thing we want to talk about today is editing. Mainly
We
because,
have to?
huh?
Do we have to?
Yes.
Mike, close your eyes.
Now, Writer's Dojo post yesterday, or podcast yesterday, is about bad editing.
No.
And Bob, there are people who will order a small order of shrimp.
Well, it's usually
It's
a side,
it's like the girlfriend's "I'm not hungry" order.
which Sammy's Southern Kitchen has one of those. There's a small one in the corner, the
Yeah.
I'm not hungry section.
Yeah.
But if you're getting the catfish and a side of shrimp, you're supposed to get 4 shrimp. And I'd order 2 pieces of catfish and a side of shrimp. I'd get I'd get 5 pieces of catfish and 7 shrimp, and they charged me for 2 and 4.
Yeah.
Then we really ran out of. Anyway, back to editing.
So,
Mike, don't listen.
there are bad editors out there, folks. And that is one of the worst mistakes a baby author can make.
Oh, yeah.
And most of us made it when we were baby authors because we didn't know what we were doing. We went the wrong way.
And I cannot edit myself.
Yeah.
I'm too into the story, and I read what I mean it to say,
Yes.
not what it says. So I've tried. I cannot. That's why I have the ladies. I can't. I can edit other people's stuff.
Yeah. So you send it off to the editor. And if the editor understands your story, you may get a decent edit out of it. If your editor does not understand the story or wants you to start changing, like what your characters are, for example,
Well, it depends on.
changing wolves to werewolves.
Yes.
Well, but also it depends on what sort of editor.
Yeah.
'Cause that's a podcast for all different times. The different kinds of editors, which I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Until Mongo became game and pawn and game of publishing.
Yeah.
How many different editors there are?
Yes. Copy editors, line editors,
Structural
Structural
editors.
structural editors. Yes. You name it, there's an editor for it.
But just
And they all charge money.
just
Oh, yeah.
just the plain and simple. Hey, go through this and unfuckulate what I've written. Folks need to do that. And quite honestly, if you send your manuscript off to somebody to have them edit it, and you're like me, and when you get it back, have somebody else look at it.
Yeah.
Because I got burned with a bad editor that on the first book I published, bad editor. First 2 I published, bad editor.
Yeah.
I didn't know. And it's like, ooh, till it started showing up in the comments. And you don't want your editing issues to show up in your comments.
There's cancer causing
Yeah.
Yes.
Developmental editors are probably the world's worst.
And diabetes causing editing.
The developmental editors are the ones that change your wolves into werewolves. Say that you cannot get from point A to point B in space with a slide rule, which is what one apparently told Carl Gallagher.
Ooh, how'd that go?
Oh, dear.
He went somewhere else.
But if this is your first time writing, or even your second or third or fifth, and you have somebody else edit it, which you should.
Yeah.
Again, like me, I can't edit my own stuff because in my head, I know what I meant, and half the time I don't see the words. Have somebody else edit it, and then have somebody look at the edits when they come back.
But the other thing is, it shouldn't cost you $1,000 for a 2,500 word edit.
Oh,
What?
good God, no.
What?
Some of these developmental
Oh,
editors
God.
will
Well-
charge you $1,000 to edit a 2,500 word.
You're editing, not co-authoring.
And,
Get
it,
over
and
yourself.
it shouldn't cost you $9,000 to have your novel edited. 'Cause
Correct.
My nurse practitioner years ago found out I was an author, and we had a conversation, and he paid $9,000 to have his. I'm gonna say it was 90,000 words, but still, that is
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah. $1 a word.
Mike says,
editors gotta eat, but not
Mike
pretty.
says, I'm in the wrong business. You fall in the same category as Janet Spaulding, Mike. You want to keep your self-respect.
No, Padre, sensitivity content readers are not fucking editors.
No,
No.
they're not editors.
They're idiots.
They're not
Stealing
editors.
money from you.
They're
exactly.
They're parasites.
John has said it better. They're grifters stealing money from
Yeah, they're parasites.
They
That's
probably have a bad blue hair dye.
there was a semi-famous author, might have a rocket to their name, that was on a panel at a convention we were at one time, and decided that the panel was lacking in melanin, so she called her sensitivity reader
Oh, God, I remember this.
on her cell phone and
yes.
made the sensitivity reader be the 6th member of the panel. Don't do sensitive readers.
That was the last year we went to LTUE.
Don't do sensitive readers.
Yeah.
If I look at something, okay, guys, in case y'all didn't know, the latest controversy.
Damn, Tiffany.
What?
$1,500 for a 50-page developmental edit?
Wow.
I've never paid $1,500 for a 90,000-word novel edit in my fucking life.
Yeah, but a good one, who knows what the hell they're doing? It's like Deej. Deej is an excellent structural developmental editor. You can tell you for plots that ain't got. But she actually got a pretty good price for somebody who knows what the hell they're doing.
Okay.
So, but
For a 50-word story? Or for a 50-page story?
50 or 15?
50.
50.
50 pages?
Yeah.
For $1,500?
Yeah.
No.
That's what,
I think she got 50 pages from the editor talking about the book.
that's not the way it read.
Yeah.
So the latest controversy with Raconteur Press is apparently I am somewhat lacking in smarts.
I was going to say, you could finish that so many ways.
Smarts.
Don't make Jim die.
Damn it. You almost got me, Jonna.
Suck it up, Jim.
That's what I was trying to do.
Somebody decided to take my statement that it must be entertaining, all else is negotiable, to infer enthusiastic support for minor attracted persons.
God, yeah.
Didn't we have this conversation Tuesday?
We probably did.
Yeah.
I'm still annoyed about it. I am a standard American. There's some stuff I think would just goes without saying. There's some stuff that, and it's much like the Supreme Court's bright line on obscenity. I can't define it, but I know when I see it.
Yeah.
There's some stuff that I won't publish. I won't let anybody publish or let us publish. I can't define it to you, but I know it when I see it. And anything involving a sensitive reader, we don't need one. If I look at it and go, no, then, and don't ask me to define it. I can't. I know it when I see it. So driving on.
You said driving on, somebody went by the door. It's like, oh, what?
We had in one of our anthos, we had somebody using period correct slang and got a little enthusiastic for words describing a subset of the population. It's like, nope, it might have been period correct, but no, okay, we'll just.
Well, and that's the thing too, which is I was talking to a friend and a fellow writer, and he had posted a little snippet of what he was working on and asked for thoughts. And overall, the scene was really good.
Yeah.
But one phrase jarred me, and I went back to him, and I'm like, that you might have to change that because, well, it might actually be correct to the period and the character. Your modern reader is going to read liberal philosophy, and it's not going to mean the same thing that the character is trying to say, and it will look out of place to a modern reader.
Yeah.
I mean, I have moments where I go back and I read like that 1900 era Aladdin book that I have, or any of the H. Rider Haggards, and there's words in there that just jolt me because for the time and the period, they were
absolutely correct.
Part of what was generally accepted. But now, and I actually, when I was doing the read alouds on YouTube, I changed one word in one of the one of the Kipling stories. And the funny thing is that the connotation the word was used in was actually positive and complimentary.
Yeah.
But I knew if I used that word on my YouTube channel, I would no longer have a YouTube channel.
Yep, exactly.
The other thing is, growing up in Africa, the word there's a word that can't be used because I want to keep us on YouTube for as long as possible. That is a hot button. It's probably Cedar's hot button.
Yep, same one.
And it doesn't bother me because I didn't hear it when I was growing up. There's an equivalent word in African and British colonial slang that does, I hear that, I cringe. Coffer. I hear a coffer, I cringe.
Yeah.
It hits me the same way the N word hits everyone else.
Yeah. The other thing you've got to remember too is when you're writing, that's true to a point, differs, but the other situation that you have is when you're writing in a particular scenario, the words you use can and often are confusing to people who do not understand the scenario or what you're doing.
Well, also,
I mean, the good example is my first story in the short stories anthology. Most people look at it and go, "What the hell were you talking about here?" All this is acronyms. It was written for a military anthology, very specifically for aviation. So I wrote the story knowing the people that were going to buy it and read it were either aviators or very knowledgeable about aviation. So I didn't have to worry about it.
Jim's coming at the problem from the point of view of an author. I have taken the broader overview as a publisher. If you put too much of that stuff in the book, it's not the grow up. It's the Amazon will shut our account down.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not my readers have to grow up or our readers have to grow up. It's our platform. Amazon has to grow up, because if they decide that we've gotten stupid with the use of a word or anything else and they shut down our account, we're kind of screwed for a bit.
Yeah.
Which does not serve our authors
Nope.
or our readers well.
Or us.
So we want to not do that as much as
possible.
And RK's got a great point. Editor's job is not to change the author's voice, plot, or characters. Job is to help it be more readable. And if the editor inserts themselves into the story or development, fire that editor.
Yeah.
Agree 1,000%.
They're an editor, not a co-author.
Yeah.
But and like I said, they grow up and don't fash over words. Yeah, you're right. But my company's got to work around Amazon's idiot policies.
Yeah.
Idiot unspoken policies.
Yeah, right after. That's also a point. Take umbrage with the use of profanity. She's a cop. She's not going to say fiddlesticks, I've been shot. No.
Unless she's a North Dakota cop. Oh, drat.
Yeah. Or Minnesota.
Oh, drat. I have been shot.
which you can use very effectively in a story for comedic relief.
Yes. Some of those 50-word short stories last night, the writers group were hilarious.
You're welcome.
We were having fun.
Yeah.
Well,
the double take I got out of you. What was in that last drink? Huh? What? That was not where that was going.
oh shit, heck out. Yeah, right. We were doing had a prompt, had to write 50 words about it. I wrote 54 because I don't follow the rules anyway. And it felt pretty good. And then I was sitting there and some other folks were talking. I just got a pencil and started writing. I wrote 102 words.
Yeah.
Yay.
Then I tore up the paper and threw it away.
But you wrote words.
I did write words.
Yeah, Brennan, that's the other side of what happens on occasion. You end up taking the damn thing over because nobody else wants to do it.
That's a labor of love, and I don't love a lot of y'all.
Either that or we're too damn stupid to not do it.
Oh,
After the first ones. Oh, thank you, Carlton.
my goodness gracious, dearie me. Like you said, Minnesota, rural Minnesota sheriff, you shoot her, I will say that.
Yeah.
And this is also a good example of how to really build a character in someone's head through very sparse use of language.
Yeah.
Because if you open a story with someone's gotten shot and they respond with, "Oh goodness gracious, dearie me," the mental image the reader instantly gets of that character will stay with them throughout the rest of the story.
Yeah. And it can be fun if you have the response being shot as, "Oh goodness gracious, dearie me," and then later they go
Yeah.
full bat shit with a baseball bat on the guy. It can be interesting mental juxtaposition.
Yes.
That's the way I do it.
Thank you for doing that, Brennan. Yeah, when somebody goes MIA on you, you don't have much choices.
Is that the one that
Primal voices.
dinosaurs, right?
Yeah.
Lord, that's
On that one for a couple of years.
I think say that's a couple years old.
Yeah. Just because your story goes dark doesn't mean you're not accepted, Dawn.
Interesting mental juxtaposition. Fancy talk for total bug nuts crazy, right?
No, not
Have y'all read my
necessarily.
stuff? Have y'all read my stuff?
You have not met some of the people we had in jail.
Well, I mean, the exemplar I'm actually thinking of is people's reaction to when I actually swear.
Yeah.
Because it's not something I normally do, and I don't do it lightly.
Or when she's screaming at somebody in rage, which is, and I've got two of my young cops going, we're going to go over here.
I did not use any language with my son.
No, it was the
Deliberately.
attitude.
I was using my command voice because
Yes.
I was trained from the time I was 11 and how to project from the diaphragm and to be able to be heard by however many cadets I was drilling, because I was in competition drill team.
Yeah.
And that was the voice that I pulled out and I used with him. But I had decided on the drive over that I wasn't going to swear.
Yeah.
Because I figured it would have more impact if I just used language and without you going foul.
One
Of course, me being a sailor, I go the other way.
One of my young officers took his side. Do I need to give her a taser? No, please don't.
When I don't cuss, people get worried.
I'm just me.
Yes. I will say that my baby sailor now swears casually on the phone with me. I really wish he wouldn't, but I also do understand sailors.
I will say, just for the record, at GeekCon, he called and said, "Mom, can I borrow the truck for a year?"
Mm,
Really?
Yeah.
yes.
Ooh, that was ballsy.
It was like, wow. And Nick was standing there going, "This is the truck he wrecked, right?" They're like, "Yeah." It's like, wow.
The truck,
Boy
it's
needs
still
to
not
learn.
fixed.
No, it's still not completely fixed. It's drivable, but it's not completely fixed.
Oh my God, it was hilarious.
Yeah, no, he cannot borrow the truck for a year.
So the
Good.
answer is no. Yeah, good.
Well, even if I had been inclined to say yes, he can't freaking afford it because there's no way I'm putting him back on my insurance.
Yeah.
I can't afford that.
Yeah.
And the last quote he got for auto insurance was $1,200 a month.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, he's had two
And that would
accidents.
probably be a
He's had more than-
$1,500 or $2,000
He's had
deductible.
two.
He's
Yeah.
had more than two. He's had 3 accidents at this
Reported?
point. Yes. One of them was not his fault. One of them was minor, and the other one was the truck.
Hey, Evelyn, good to see you. And
Evie's
yes,
back.
DR knows to duck when you stop cussing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Marines are not stupid. Contrary to popular opinion.
Tom says, so he'll buy a Camaro at 28% interest.
Yeah, probably.
If he does, that's
Boy
he's
needs to
gonna
buy
have
a
to deal
Dodge
with it.
Charger at 19% APR. It's traditional. Yeah.
Now, actually, traditional was a Mustang,
Mustang at 32.
and then wreck it in about 2 months,
Uh-huh.
and then get a Volkswagen.
Get the loaner Volkswagen that gets passed down from.
Yeah.
Well, he's like, my buddy wants to go in halves on a vehicle with me, and I'm like, oh
Oh
no.
God, no!
I'm like, no.
No.
When he gives you a ride, you give him a little cash for gas money, but you're not going halvesies, especially not with the kid that's trying to get you to go out and do underage drinking.
Yeah.
That'll be a learning experience.
Yeah.
That'll be a valuable learning experience.
That'll be something, all right.
Oh,
Yeah, school's going to take a lot of his time. You're right there, Rick.
boy,
I don't think he realizes how much time it's going to take.
I don't think he does either, because this first school, he wasn't allowed to take anything out of the building in order to study. So he had a lot of free time on his hands, which is why he's coming up with harebrained ideas.
He's not going to have free time.
No,
once-
I know that. He doesn't know that,
Yeah.
but I know that.
Harebrained comes with being 18.
Evelyn,
He's
I
technically
would
19 now.
I would
so.
bet that the reason TR did that is because he could work on the damn thing. See, that's something that we grew up doing. Is our first vehicles we had to work on to get them to run,
Right.
and that just became a habit when we bought vehicles when we were on active duty.
They do that with guns. I buy guns I can work on.
Yeah.
I don't care about cars.
Because, and the other thing is, those are cheaper to insure, and B, if you buy a truck, you're not going to have to worry about giving everybody and their damn brother a ride.
No kidding.
Yeah, that was the other thing I told him. I'm like, look, if you get a vehicle, you're going to be everybody's ride. And he's like, oh no. And I'm
No.
Yeah.
Oh, child.
I love your naivety, child.
Much learning shall occur.
Evelyn, I would recommend go to Rock Auto, and if they do not have one, Zuzu. Who else? Zuzu crossed with somebody, and I can't remember who now. Yeah, been too many years.
Weren't they rebadged Fords?
No, that was Mazda's.
Was it?
Mazdas are rebadged Fords,
Yeah.
because Dad's Mazda B3000 was basically a
A
Ford
Ranger.
Ranger.
Yeah.
Nice little pickup, though. That's
Yeah.
what I learned how to drive in.
I miss my little '94 Ford Ranger. That was a great little
Oh, yeah.
4-burner.
If Ford Rangers were still, or the B3 Mazda trucks were still a viable option by the time I came around to buying a vehicle, I would definitely have gotten one, but they were all at that point pretty well old and used.
Yeah, exactly, Don. You gain a lot of friends who only want to hang around when they want to go somewhere, and you're the only one with a group of a car. Yeah.
Yep.
I saw that when I was going through A school in the early 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Because there were only 4 people in a 160 person company that owned cars. I was one of them. So yeah, that was Isuzu and Chevy. That's what it was. Thanks, Brennan. So the other thing you could do is, Evelyn, is go look for an S10 hood latch for a Chevy S10 from the same year, and it should match. Yeah.
No, the old Rangers, the old 4 and occasionally 6-cylinder Rangers, up until 2010, were great. They were actually honest to God small trucks. You can't find a small truck these days.
No, there is no such thing.
No.
That's
not unless you're going to find an old Isuzu or a B3000 or something like that.
We bought a
Evelyn, we try to help.
we bought a little Nissan pickup with a galvanized body. And I say we, and Sanford bought it, and he had been working enforced overtime 60, 70, 80 hours a week for months on end, and he bought this thing, and he didn't look at it closely enough.
Yeah.
And it didn't make it home the first time we tried to drive it home, and it wound up, we wound up selling it to a kid that wanted it for a project vehicle. But the body on that thing was indestructible. It was all the rest of it, Ohio, had rotted out.
Yeah.
So it looks great on the outside because it was a galvanized body. I wish they'd have done that more with the little trucks, because that was going to last freaking forever.
Well, that was a Japanese one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it would have been a great little truck, except for the fact that the guy that sold it to us was, had been playing fast and loose with no maintenance for I don't know how long.
Yeah, Nancy, the 88 Hilux that y'all have, quote, quote.
Did you see the guy that made his Cybertruck a technical?
Yes.
Warlord in Africa somewhere. I can't remember exactly where. It is the funniest looking thing. And yeah, I figured Ian would get about that look. Little pinto mountain kind of shooting up because of the back of the slope.
That would make me want to get a Cybertruck.
Yeah. Evelyn, that does not surprise me, especially learning how to drift. Because the Mitsubishis back in the day were, a little skosh on the handling anyway.
A friend of mine had a Mitsubishi Raider.
If you ever see a Hilux, you better grab it, because everybody and their brother's going to be trying to buy that sucker.
if they know what they're doing,
Yeah.
yeah. A friend of mine had a Mitsubishi Raider, and that was a little bitty truck. And holy crap, that was a fun little truck. It really was. But there's a market. Down the federal cafe standards, there's a market for small trucks. It's just you can't make them anymore because the federal government's a bunch of morons.
Yeah. They've Californicated it.
Yep. I mean, there's a hell of a market for small trucks.
Well, I would actually rather. Actually, they do. Well, it's not Subaru that makes it, but Hyundai makes a version of the Subaru Brat. So yeah, they're out there.
The Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
Good looking little truck. Only problem with the Santa Cruz and the Ford Maverick and the like, which they're unibody trucks.
Yeah.
Bakis. I do love Bakis. I won't get a Maverick or a Santa Cruz because they were made after 2019.
Yeah.
And they're way too intrusive.
Yeah,
Well,
Evelyn, that's a significant problem. Yes, they have Hiluxes in Mexico. No,
Mhm.
you cannot bring them back into the U.S.
They've got Volkswagen pickups.
Yeah.
In Mexico and Argentina, they're fantastic. Little Volkswagen unibody pickups that come from the factory as pickups, and they're great.
Yeah.
Great little pickups. Can't get them in the States. Can't bring them into the States.
Yeah, Don, we see them coming through here all the time. Usually 3 or 4 of them roped or chained, or actually occasionally with real tow bars put together.
I saw one going at 82 down south.
Yeah.
It was he was towing, it was a guy in a beat up pickup with a tow bar to another beat up pickup and tow bar to another beat up pickup and tow bar. He was towing 3 off tow bars.
And all of them were wrecked.
Every one of them was wrecked.
Yeah. Yep, headed to Mexico. Drivers won't speak English and
Can't speak. I guarantee you, the guy driving that, I slowed down to take a look at him. The
Yeah.
guy driving that did not speak English.
Yeah.
And does not have a U.S. driver's license.
oh hell no. Yeah, they Sean, if you really want to see those things on a daily basis, go down New Mexico, Arizona, California border, Texas border, now where Evelyn lives. Yeah, you will see them every day. And she brings up a good point. The beds are full of bicycles.
Yeah, they're out in Oregon.
And you follow them to the crossing and they go across the border and disappear.
And disappear. Yep. And between cash for clunkers and they'll go along and they'll buy if they find one at auction or by the road that's prior about 2015, they'll snatch it up. And I want something that's 2015 or earlier, no later than 2018. Because when I read the report and found out that Nissan keeps track of your sexual orientation.
Yeah.
Although how the hell they figured that out is something that I would prefer not to think about.
Cameras in the back seats.
That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, they photographed the interior, yeah.
So no. No.
I'd actually prefer something prior to 1970
Well, that's you.
because I could still work on it and I've got the tools for it.
I love old pickup trucks.
Yeah.
We drove by old pickup trucks on the road. And, oh.
A pack of folding matches
Mm-hmm.
is perfect 35 thousandths for setting a frigging set of points.
If you can find the pack matches these days.
I have some in the box with all the other stuff.
When Jonna and I were going out to Shreveport, she took I wouldn't call it the back road, but we went off 82 and off that way.
Nice little road.
249. It was beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a lovely drive. I mean, I
grew up driving those roads.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a town
Oh, yes.
called Bastrop, something like that.
Bastrop.
Bastrop. And there are 2 different pieces of land, I'm guessing owned by the same people, alongside the road, and both of them are just chock full of these old
Like 30
buses and vans.
Oh, they've been there. They've been there since I was a kid.
Well, they still are.
They're still there, and I was looking at these cute little round vans, and I'm like, that's what we need for a con vehicle.
They
I
will
think they've got
never
more
sell
since you
them.
were there.
Oh my gosh, no.
I mean, I know where there was a 57 B210 Chevrolet
Mm-hmm.
that was parked in 1958
Mm-hmm.
that is still sitting in the same place, has not moved,
Mm-hmm.
Agony.
And can't move.
and they won't sell it.
About a month or so ago, I was keeping an eye on an auction for a 2009 Ford F1 or Ford Ranger. What were we talking about? White Ford Ranger, been a fleet vehicle. And I was keeping an eye on it. And that thing went for about 3 times list price when the auction was done. Holy gods.
Yeah, Rick. Well, RX-7. Yeah. Although I would be leery of replacing the distributor because at least I know the distributor is going to work. The electronic ones, yeah. Drang says, I'd like a surplus M1009 diesel powered K5 Blazer. But I can still do PMCS on that thing blindfolded. Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Those things. CUCV. CUCV. I forget what CUCV stood for.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, Evelyn, you do tend to end up on a first name basis with them, which is good because they know you and you know them. Oh, Mr. Machine.
Not always a good thing, but
we do not want a van, Tom. No, we're not getting a fucking van.
I do not do vans.
No.
SUVs, yes. Pickups, yes. Vans are evil.
Yeah.
Monkeys walk in vans.
Tom says he still has his CUCV key.
Well, I can tell the Army had one key for the entire fleet.
What is this keys of which you speak?
On the CUCV, it had to have a key.
Well, so did our duty trucks. So we just either used a screwdriver or a TL29 and went crank. Okay, put it back in your pocket. Go on.
Most Army vehicles only require a key for a padlock to chain off the door. Other than that, you got the weird little 3-switch panel on the left side of the that controlled a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And either a push button or a flip switch.
Evelyn, that's good. She says, supervisor seen me in full kit because somebody was on my property at one point. Stopped to ask if I needed help. Yep. That's good because that puts you in the good guy, good girl category.
Very important.
Yes.
Barn door latch hold. Yes. Army or Air Force. I had something to talk about. I can't remember what the hell it was.
We've kind of wandered a little further afield than usual.
That's something to talk about. Hold off on buying Super Generation until noon on Friday. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get the ebook up if the Amazon elves will cooperate. If they won't cooperate, noon, go for it. That's about the only big press announcement I can think of.
Evelyn, we need more stories from you, lady.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, some of the van conversions are very nice. However, it's the idiots driving the friggin' vans. Every time I've been off the road in the last 5 years, it's been a friggin' van.
There is an advert in Super Generations, which I think y'all will be very, very, very happy with. See if I can get the high points for you. It's, of course, done by Cedar.
I just do the art. Most of the ad copy is written by the rest of the team, because we have some people that are very, very funny, and all I can do is do my best to illustrate the weirdness and the
I
humor.
figured she says funny, I say ain't right. But
Well, I mean, that's a fine line.
if you can get the full set of Law Dog action figures, apparently the Society of Spurgles and their army of flying monkeys, you can have total monkey war. That is an ad you really need to see in Super Generation.
Total Monkey War.
Evelyn, you're writing. That's what's important.
Yes, keep writing.
Yes.
Apparently, there is a Kung Fu Law Dog, a Safari Law Dog, a Deputy Law Dog, and a Cavalry Law Dog. Total monkey war. Apparently, one Law Dog get 5 monkeys for only 5 clams more.
But do you want monkeys?
Nobody sane wants monkeys. I swear to God, I'm going to have a class at a con sometime, a proper way of drowning a monkey.
Hey, Tom, we'd take a short bus.
Don't we generally?
No, I mean, that'd be a great con vehicle because then you could load everything in it.
When my kids were little and we were doing shows all over the place, we had a conversion van with, you could lay down the back seat so it was a bed kind of thing. It was elderly. But I could put 4 car seats in there because my kids were all fairly close. Well, 3 car seats because by the time Johan was really traveling with us, my oldest was out of a car seat. But still, enough room to have all the kids and all their accoutrements and all the show gear.
Yeah.
It was a big ass van and we needed it.
Remember how bad your lip itches when you're growing your mustache back?
At least you're able to grow the mustache back.
That's nice. I still got my lip.
Electric Mayhem bus from Muppet movie.
The Muppet movie van bus would work, yes. That would be us going
buses.
somewhere as a
No
whole.
buses, no vans.
Short bus would work.
Okay, I gotta give you that. But it had to be painted yellow.
Painted yellow and say short bus across the back. What else is there?
We have
Preferably with a flake liner diesel
to
engine.
have the little foam helmets with the springy.
There was a kid at the con with a propeller beanie,
Yeah.
and I almost chased him down to ask him where he'd gotten it.
That would be a good little project to do. A short bus with a 425 cat and an Allison 6-speed transmission in it.
You knock yourself out. You have fun with that.
Hey, we could maintain road speed. I'll guarantee you that.
Road speed.
And whoever drives needs a Mrs. Frizzle dress or an aloha shirt.
We had a Mrs. Frizzle at the convention.
There were more than one Mrs. Frizzle at the convention. One of them had really leaned into it and had like a planetary headdress with all the planets bobbing along on it. I didn't count to see if she'd included Pluto, but I'll bet she did because Mrs. Frizzle.
Miss Frizzle. So keep an eye on our Substack. We are going to be releasing the 2025 schedule.
Very soon now.
Brandon
And
says, found a bus up here for $1. I'll buy it if you want.
The 31st?
Probably 31st.
We're thinking the release of 2025 schedule will be August 31st.
and apparently I'm going to need to find myself a white linen sports jacket to do
Don't give it away.
a cover
Don't
shoot.
give it away.
And I'm going to leave it at that and let y'all's
Would we,
fertile imaginations run wild.
would we tease them?
Hell yes.
I did not know that. Evelyn just pointed out every episode was a new dress for Mrs. Frizzle.
Yes.
I did not know that.
It was thematic to whatever they were studying that episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I know that.
Every time it's called Mrs. Frizzle.
Yeah, I know that Rita students used to call her Ms. Frizzle,
Mhm.
and it's when I found out I didn't have to beat wholesale ass that she thought it was a compliment. It was okay.
It is
but
a compliment.
As far as I don't know anything off of that.
She was a very hands-on teacher, Miss Frizzle was, and the fun get-up and hair and stuff was just a sidebar to the fact that she actually took the kids out and did hands-on learning things,
Oh,
which
damn,
is far
Dawn.
superior to sitting in a classroom. Also, if any of the ladies want Miss Frizzle dresses, look up Cow on Amazon because they have got all kinds of cool science and animal-themed dresses.
And I
They're
still
a little on the short side, but you can always put petticoats under.
Again, I have no idea who Ms. Frizzle is. I just found out quick. I didn't have to beat wholesale ass in a classroom.
No, it was a compliment.
Okay.
They were saying they really liked her.
Dawn says, SO just solar mobile command bus. Fuck.
Wow. Stop helping.
And Evelyn's going, magic. She's hiding in the magic school bus.
Stop helping. Helping.
Nancy wants to know who is Miss Frizzle? Is it a kid show or
Apparently.
It's a kids show.
kid show?
It was intended. I don't know if it was PBS show. It's
Drove the magic school bus.
It's older.
Yeah.
Yeah. She drove the magic school bus, and they would go on magical field trips, and they would go like inside the bloodstream, and they went inside volcanoes, and there was I think, four or five students with very stereotyped personalities and a pet chameleon, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, of all the kids shows that my kids wanted to watch endlessly, because four of them, we went through a lot of that. It was one of the ones that was not horrible. I mean, I banned Barney from the get-go. We didn't do Barney
I hate
ever.
you. You hate me. Let's tie Barney to a
But Miss
tree.
Frizzle
Great
was-
big shotgun. Shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
Oops, I'm sorry. Barney's dead.
Barney was doing signatures at the convention. There were people wandering around with autographed Barney photos.
Oh, Jesse says, mobile command bus, then reach out to Magnus Papa Gumbo.
Yes, that would be a fun collaboration.
And on that note, folks, we've wasted another hour plus of your time. God.
Evie's
we have
right.
to do cat ears though.
Barney is a sin.
Yes.
Yes. I hate you. You hate me. Let's tie Barney to a tree. It's a great big shotgun. Shoot him in the head. Oops, I'm sorry.
All right,
Barney's
folks.
dead.
Y'all have a good weekend. Be safe. Remember, next weekend is Labor Day,
Ugh.
or is it known in Texas as day one of dove season.
Day one of dove season.
I will not be here for that one.
And
So school will be out.
the doves have already started relocating to
No shit.
the bird sanctuary, the Zowa Park.
Well, actually, shit, yes.
Yeah, a
Because-
whole lot of shit.
So y'all remember, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff.
Y'all be safe.
We see you next week. Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.